Bernie Sanders confronted Wall Street executives at their shareholder meeting in Arkansas, and he had some pretty big demands. Take a look.
Walmart pays many of its employees starvation wages.
Sanders invited by a Walmart employee to make the case to have hourly workers on the company's board. During his remarks, he also demanded Walmart pay its workers a base wage of $15 an hour and called out the company's CEO, Doug McMillon, for his $24 million salary.
They are also outraged by the grotesque level of income and wealth inequality in America.
The company defended its treatment of its employees by pointing to Walmart's tuition assistance and management training programs, and in a surprise, McMillon called for the federal minimum wage to go up.
$7.25 is too low. It's time for Congress to put a thoughtful plan in place to increase the minimum wage.
Now, the reason why Bernie was able to be there is because he was invited by a woman named Kat Davis. She's an hourly employee at Walmart. And just to give you a sense of how frustrated some of the employees are for this massive, incredibly profitable corporation, let's hear from one of them.
Rima Lovett works as a Walmart associate in Jacksonville, Florida, and welcomed Sanders' presence at the meeting.
He's for the working people, and he speaks for the working people.
Lovett believes an employee on the board would go a long way to helping Walmart leadership understand what it really means to live on Walmart's minimum wage.
Could you live off of $11 and something an hour? It's hard. It's hard, especially in our economy. It's up and we're booming.
The proposal to add an employee to Walmart's board was rejected by shareholders.
People cannot make it on $11 an hour.
And the company also did not make a substantive move toward raising employee salaries. And after his remarks, Sanders was skeptical Walmart leadership was listening.
Do you feel that the Walmart CEO got your message today?
No, I don't.
He's just so matter of fact. But I love what he did here because he's sticking to his message. For him, the big message is we need a better economic situation for the vast majority of Americans who have been completely screwed over by the way the system is set up today. I love the fact, and by love, I'm being sarcastic, by the way, the fact that the idea of having an employee serve on the board is like the most controversial idea ever, right? Oh my God, we can't have the employees know about the discussions that are happening with the board. No, we should have employees who make the company serve on the board, period.
And I just want to shout out the organization that made this entire event happen and is like organizing and is amazing, United for Respect. They are changing the game when it comes to not just rights for workers, but rethinking democracy in the workplace. And they're gonna be going on beyond Walmart to say, absolutely, workers deserve a seat at the table. Absolutely, you should take into their considerations and their livelihoods into consideration when you're making decisions for this company that we help run. And so just shout out to their amazing work that they've been doing.
And when employees say, give us a voice, just like constituents, and we talked about how politicians treat constituents all the time. How dare they? Do you know who I am? Yeah, your job is to make sure that other folks can live. Hey, they're working for you, they're making you your billions.
Yeah.
And I want you to even think about the $11 an hour. Because I want you to think about the $15 an hour. That's still, I'm sorry, in my opinion, that's still not enough.
No.
I agree,
so you're living on $15 an hour, and then there's these things called taxes that you still pay on every paycheck. So we're thinking about what you bring home, and then what you have to do with healthcare costs, and then we'll go back to some of our debates and what people want to do with legislation. The Republicans had to do with tax cuts and a tax plan. The first thing they wanted to do was give more billionaires more money. That was their priority. But when we're revamping the tax code, was it having anything to do with folks making this much money? There's not much you can really do with their taxes unless you have them pay nothing. But there's nothing you can really do with that side of it, so you have to give them something to live off of, but nobody cares. And as soon as you say it, they go, how dare you? You know these are children that are trying to work their way up. These aren't all 16-year-olds getting their first job.
Luckily, there are people who care. There are members of the Democratic electorate who certainly care, which is why this is one of the biggest issues that's being discussed over and over again. But more importantly, one of the reasons why we're discussing this topic, and it's at the very top of the priorities for Democratic candidates, is because in the last election, Bernie Sanders just incessantly brought up this issue. And look, in a time when it feels like we're bombarded with politicians who are much more interested in getting paid to give speeches to these corporate CEOs. It's nice to see a politician who shows up to their shareholder meeting and is like, hey, yeah, I got a question for you. When are you gonna pay your workers, and when are you gonna have some of these workers on the board?
Absolutely.
You know, actually representing the people who are helping produce the profits that that CEO is able to take home.
Especially a corporation that is notorious in union busting and does not allow its workers to unionize, and gives them that little intro video when a new worker comes on board, like, hi, here at Walmart, we don't need unions because Big Daddy Walton loves us hard. Like, no. So if you're not gonna let your workers unionize, then put one on your board. Why not?
Right.
The TYT Plus app is now available on iOS and Android. Download to get more TYT content at tyt.com/app.